Rough Edge, Book 1 of the Edge series, with the prequel Cutting Edge, written by C.D. Reiss, performed by Maxine Mitchell and Joe Arden. Cutting Edge, Part 1, 8 Days. Chapter 1. November 2004. The air over Fallujah, Iraq. 18 hours to Operation Phantom Fury. Not jumping. I chanted 2 words to myself over and over. Not jumping. The frog's dual rotors buzzed like a swarm of bees. My knuckles were striated in white and pink, and my palm already ached in the center. I kept my eyes on my boots and focused on the pain, feeling it in 3 dimensions as the shooting ache ran from my right wrist to my shoulder. That helped. Focusing on pain always did. "How you doing, Major?" I barely heard Ronan over the angry swarm and the shouts of the paratroopers, but I couldn't ignore him. That was as good as an admission of the terror I felt. He'd use my fear as a weapon for good-natured but annoying mockery. Any woman with 13 years in the military could take a ribbing, but none of us had to like it. He was on the other side of the cargo bay, right next to the rear dock. I looked at him and released my hand long enough to give him a thumbs up, but I couldn't do that without seeing the open bay door the paratroopers were jumping from. My stomach twisted when I saw the rectangle of clear blue desert sky and watched the Marine sergeant smack a soldier on the helmet before she jumped and disappeared. Ronan laughed. He was a loner from intelligence, temporarily attached to my unit in the 1st Medical Brigade. He was an ass, a friend, and an occasional bunk buddy since we'd met in basic. "One day you're gonna have to jump," he shouted. I kept my hand up long enough to give him the finger, then I clutched the edge of my seat again. "Cork it!" Lieutenant Jackson shouted to him, her eyes intent under her thick black glasses. Jen was a nurse practitioner and my best friend in the unit. Ronan smiled at her. She had a silver bar to his butter bar. He couldn't do shit. The sergeant smacked himself on the helmet and jumped out. Next stop, Combat Support Hospital, Balad Base. The door was closed, and the helicopter whipped around, pressing my back against the fuselage. We arrived at the cache, Combat Support Hospital, in the brightest part of the day. Sweat had a way of burning right off you between noon and 2 in July in Iraq, and what didn't burn off, the wind took away. But in November, the dusty landscape of the airbase sat in contrast to the temperate air. I was on my 3rd deployment.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?